Hey everybody, this is Bill, and welcome to the channel, where we primarily cover three topics: real estate investing, stock investing, and college football. With us on the doorstep of the 2021 season, today we're going to talk college football and preview the Southeastern Conference, so join us. In 2020, the Commodores played the Texas Aggies tough on the road to open the season, but they faltered down the stretch as the defensive unit ran out of gas. Vanderbilt does bring back 17 starters, including quarterback Ken Seals, who has Cam Johnson and the top 5 receivers back. Leading tackler Anthony Oji is back at middle linebacker, along with the next 4 top tacklers. So we expect Vanderbilt to be improved, but in the SEC, that still probably means a last place finish in the Eastern Division. Making a bowl should be the goal for the Doors, but it would seem that would be quite an achievement. Josh Heupel came over from UCF to take over a Tennessee program seemingly out of control. The change in staffs led to a mass exodus of players, leaving the Volunteers essentially starting from scratch. At quarterback, Joe Milton has transferred in from Michigan, but he will battle Herndon Hooker, a Virginia Tech former starter who's transferred in, and true freshman Harrison Bailey. The Vols may look to a true freshman at running back, but they do have some talent at receiver and have a decent player on the offensive line in tackle Cade Mays. 7 starters are back on the defensive side, led by free safety Trevon Flowers. Heupel did a decent job at UCF, but this does not appear to be a quick fix. Defeating everyone the Vols are favored to win over would be a great first start. Shane Beamer has been brought in to bring some excitement to the stale program at South Carolina, led by Will Muschamp. Unfortunately, several veteran key players transferred out, leaving the Gamecocks with some big holes. Running back is not one of them, as our All-America running back Kevin Harris, who is stellar, returns. 4 of the top 5 receivers also return, but there will be a new quarterback who will work behind an experienced offensive line. 6 starters return defensively, but the line will be good with Zach Pickens and Kingsley Enagbar. The Gamecocks win their 3 non-conference games, but then fight in the SEC. We think Beamer's a real good choice for the future, but 2021 will be tough for the Gamecock faithful. Mark Stoops has a veteran team at Kentucky with some key transfers and an extremely favorable schedule. Offensively, 7 official starters return, but 2 starter transfers from other schools join the unit, and Kentucky has brought in offensive coordinator Liam Cohen from the LA Rams. Kentucky will have an outstanding receiver corps led by Josh Ali and welcoming Nebraska transfer Wan'Dale Robinson. Tackle Darian Kennard, with 33 career starts for the Cats, is an All-American quarterback and top NFL draft pick. Joining Kennard is LSU transfer Dale Rosenthal, an all-conference caliber player at a minimum. The defense has some strong young talent and benefits from Ole Miss linebacker transfer Jaquez Jones, the Rebels' leading tackler in 2020. At worst, we see Kentucky 8-4. But with strong quarterback play, this veteran team could be 9-3 and grab a second-place finish in the SEC East. At Mizzou, the Tigers are a dangerous team who narrowly missed out being included in our Sleeper 6. 8 offensive starters are back on offense, including many options at quarterback, where Connor Basilick is the favorite. The Tigers need a new running back, but bring an experienced receiving corps. One to watch in that group is Mookie Cooper. The line is experienced. Defensive end Trajan Jeffcoat is an emerging star, and linebacker Derek Nicholson and strong safety Martez Manuel are all conference candidates. Watch out for the Tigers. They're liable to upset somebody. The Florida Gators are a very interesting football team in 2021. Offensively, while the returning production is limited, the talent level's quite high. Emory Jones returns at quarterback, and big things are expected from the dual-threat player. Jones has big-time talent, and some have him as a top 10 NFL draft pick next year. Even so, there's a contingent of Gator faithful who think the highly rated Anthony Richardson, the backup quarterback, is better. The rooms housing the running backs and receivers are deep and talented, with former 5-star recruits in each room. Many quality players returned this fall to give the Gators a chance at having a real deep bite on opposing offenses. On defense, a host of quality players returned this fall to give the Gators a chance at having a real deep bite on opposing offenses. Up front, defensive end Zachary Carter is an honors candidate, and former five-star Georgia transfer Brenton Cox also returns. Due to the lack of experience among the Gators, we think the Gators go 9-3 and finish second in the East, but we could see 10-2 fairly easily if the talent all comes together and emerges. At Georgia, quarterback J.T. Daniels returns to lead the Bulldogs, who have strong backs led by Zamir White and some real talented receivers led by LSU transfer Eric Gilbert and tight end Darnell Washington. Jamari Salyer and Warren McClendon lead the offensive line for the Dogs. Defensive tackle Jordan Davis leads the Bulldogs on the defensive side, adding in talented transfers in linebacker T.K. Smith and cornerback Darian Kendrick give the Dogs much more bite. Georgia opens with powerful Clemson and Charlotte, a field the Tigers are familiar with. Clemson welcomes in a new quarterback, so this presents a golden opportunity to nip the Tigers for Georgia. We think Georgia wins the East, and winning the SEC championship game is all that stands in the way of a secured trip to the playoff. Can the Dogs bookend the season with wins over Clemson and, say, Alabama? Good heavens! Forget the silver britches. That would seem a tall order for the New York Jets. Before we get over to take a look at the Western Division, please take a moment to like and subscribe to our page if you like college football and enjoy following it throughout the season. We'll have more coverage for you. Now let's get on over to the West. At Hail State, 16 starters return. But while Mississippi State looked really sharp in wins in the opener over LSU and closing the season in a win over Missouri, they struggled most of 2020. In 2021, the top receivers and rushers return, as does quarterback Will Rogers. Wide receiver Jaden Walley leads the way. Linebackers Tyrese Wheat and defensive back Emmanuel Forbes lead the way for Mississippi State on defense. Non-conference tilts versus North Carolina State and Memphis are interesting opportunities, but while Mississippi State should be improved, the record may not show it, and that's going to lead to a last-place finish in the SEC West. Arkansas once again has what appears to be the most difficult slate in the land, and the Razorbacks will try to build upon the dangerous outfit they put on the gridiron last fall. 9 offensive starters return. KJ Jefferson takes over at quarterback, and leading rusher Traylon Smith does return. All-America wideout Traylon Burks leads a decent receiving corps, which includes tight end Hudson Henry. Center Ricky Strongbird leads the offensive line. The defense will be stout with 10 returning starters back. The unit is led by All-America linebacker Grant Morgan, and defensive back Jason Catalon is an all-SEC performer. This team is talented, experienced, and well-coached, but the Razorbacks have a murderous slate with Texas out of conference and with Texas A&M in a neutral site, along with road games at Georgia, Ole Miss, LSU, and Alabama. The Hogs are indeed dangerous, but the record certainly does not appear that it will show it. With Gus Malzahn finally fired, the Auburn Tigers hired Boise State head coach Brian Harsin. Now, Harsin did a great job at Boise State, but this is an entirely different cat here at Auburn, and one from a completely different region. That's going to bear some watching. 15 starters return on the plane, including quarterback Bo Nix. Tank Bixby, an All-America candidate at running back, is also back. The receiving corps, however, is very inexperienced. Nick Brahms at center does lead an experienced offensive line, which returns all 5 starters. Linebackers Zacoby McClain and Owen Popo lead the defensive unit, which does return experience at each level. How quickly the Tigers come together under Harsin? Well, they don't have much time. As Auburn travels to Penn State for a white game, that's a very interesting intersectional contest going on in the 3rd week of September. The schedule could be worse, with Georgia and Alabama at home and road tilts at LSU and Texas A&M. But we think Auburn has some growing pains to do, and we think they finish in the lower half of the SEC West this year. For Ole Miss to take the next step, to contend rather than be a dangerous out in the SEC West, it will be the defense that gets it done. The Rebels have Otis Reese, Sam Williams, and Tywone Malone, who will lead the way on that side of the ball. The offensive firepower is breathtaking. The Rebels return quarterback Matt Corral, who tossed 29 touchdowns in 2020. But if he is able to limit his mistakes, as he threw 14 interceptions, he could really excel and challenge for first-team All-America honors. 5-star running back Jerrion Ealy is also back. Ealy is elusive and fast, able to break loose at any time. The receiving corps is always a strength. The trio of Dontario Drummond, Braylon Sanders, and Jonathan Mingo strike fear in opposing secondaries. The Rebels do face a very tough schedule, to be sure, with at least 3 losses seemingly certain. But we love this offense and picture Ole Miss being tough enough to handle most opponents. It would seem 7-5 fits, but we're going to take it over and call it 8-4 and quite fun. For Coach O and the LSU faithful, the stage appears set for the Tigers to regain their bite and challenge for an SEC title, as LSU returns 18 starters. We got Max Johnson at quarterback. Tyrion Davis-Price, the leading rusher for 2020, returns and figures to start, but keep an eye on John Emery, of course. No worries for the receiving corps. Kayshon Boutte is an All-America player at wide receiver. LSU returns the entire offensive line from 2020, a key factor in our evaluation of a team poised to improve. However, in midsummer, they did lose starting left tackle Dale Rosenthal, who entered the transfer portal. Certainly it's not good to lose a player of his caliber, but the Tigers are very experienced up front. Defensively, LSU could be daunting. All-America cornerback Derek Stingley, who missed time in 2020, is set at corner and perhaps the nation's best player at his position. Meanwhile, on the opposite side is sophomore Eli Ricks, who played at an All-American level last year at the position. He's considered the next superstar LSU defensive back. Linebacker Damone Clark, the Tigers' top tackler in 2020, leads the linebacking corps. Micah Bakersville returns as well. Expect Mike Jones, who transfers in from Clemson, to also figure prominently. The Tigers return the defensive line intact, and big things are expected from defensive end Ali Gay and tackle Glenn Logan. All-America place kicker Cade York also returns. LSU has top 10 level talent and will not resemble the poor team we saw last year. But the Tigers could be very strong and still go 9-3 with their schedule. So look out for the Tigers in 2021. 2021 could be a banner year in Aggieland, but it may well be the vaunted Wrecking Crew defense leading the way. On the stop side, the Aggies are stout at each level. Up front, All-America candidate DeMarvin Leal is at defensive tackle, and he anchors the front. Weak side linebacker Aaron Hansford is the team's top returning tackler. The Aggie secondary is very strong. Corner Miles Jones is an honors candidate. To be sure, offensively, the Aggies will field a new signal caller, and that's Jimbo Fisher's forte. But otherwise, the offense is stacked. The Aggies have an outstanding backfield, beginning with Isaiah Spiller, who has a chance to fight for All-American honors. Tight end Jalen Weidermeyer, who led the team in receptions in 2020, is an All-America candidate at tight end. Tackle Kenyon Green is another All-America candidate on the Aggies' offensive front. However, he is the only returning starter up there. Listen, Texas A&M could win every game, but there are a few that the Aggies could drop as well. We will go with 11-1 for the Aggies, but if they're going to do it, this might be the year. Alabama will be young this fall on offense, with only 3 starters returning. But make no mistake, the talent level on hand is exceptional. Bryce Young, as you may suspect a 5-star recruit, takes over at quarterback, and big things are expected. John Mechie is the latest in a long line of All-America wide receivers the Crimson Tide has fielded. Major losses are felt on the line of scrimmage up front, but Alabama does return sophomore All-America offensive tackle Evan Neal. On the stop side, Alabama did suffer losses, but really does return a veteran unit for 2021, as 8 starters are back to form a very stingy and salty defensive unit. The linebacking core is lethal. This unit led by top returning tackler Christian Harris and Will Anderson, both potential All-America candidates. Kool-Aid McKinstry settles in at a corner spot, while Daniel Wright and Jordan Battle form an excellent safety duo. This is probably the best defensive unit in the country. Bama may not be the complete team they've been in the past, at least early on, but they will be undefeated and ready for another expected SEC championship game against Georgia with a playoff spot on the line. Well, we hope you enjoyed our preview of the 2021 Southeastern Conference. Please leave us your comments. Let us know what you think, where we might have missed things. Sure would appreciate hearing from you. We really appreciate you watching. We hope to see you again. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.